Let's open with a word of prayer. Holy God, we want to thank you for your goodness and your mercy towards us.
Mwari wachene tinoda kutendai nekutinakira nenyasha dzenyu kwatiri.
We pray that you would direct our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions at this camp. As we open with this first presentation, we ask that you would allow the Holy Spirit to be with us, and that we individually and as a group would allow the Holy Spirit to work upon our hearts and our minds. In Jesus' name, Amen. As most of you know, I don't want to call it a shaking, even though some people are referring or using that term. But there are various ideas and thoughts in the movement about the Sunday law. And I guess it's natural for people to keep on turning to me to try to either resolve the issue or to make some kind of comment.
Ndofunga kuti zviri natural kuti vanhu vanoramba vachidzoka kwandiri kuti tigadzirise nyaya yacho kana kuti ndiite imwe comment maererano nenyaya idzodzi.
Are my sentences too long? Are my sentences too long? Okay, good. And people have wondered why I have not made a public position or a statement.
Vanhu vanoshaya kuti kose ndisati ndaita public position kana kuti statement republic.
So I want to begin by asking the question, we all speak about angels, the three angels, sometimes four angels. And what we tend to do is try to identify people with those angels. So most people here would believe that the first angel in our reform line is whom? Is whom? Who is it? Who is the first angel? I'm asking them a question, not giving the answer. Elder Jeff.
Elder Jeff.
So people seem to have an awareness that Elder Jeff is the first angel.
Elder Jeff ndivo ngirozi yekutanga.
Once it goes from there, things begin to get complicated. At least in my mind. So, all of you have said Elder Jeff. All of you said Elder Jeff is the first angel. My question is, how do you know? How do you know he was the first angel? Someone can stand up or just put the hand up and respond. How do you know he's the first
kusumuka
angel?
kana kusunza ruoko. Munoziva sei kuti ndianga ari first angel?
Someone say something?
Kana taura here?
No? So stand up, if you don't mind, and shout so I can hear you.
Mukasumuka mudaidzira kuti kozvinzwa.
So we have this concept of history repeating,
Saka tine concept iyi yekuti history inodzokorodza.
and that's your answer?
Ndomhinduro yako here?
Okay, the answer. So that's all the answer that you've given.
Saka
Anyone else?
ndomhinduro yese yawapa. Pane mumwe here?
I would say we have the time of the end, 1989.
We have the time of the end, 1989.
Hanzi tine time of the end, 1989.
There's someone that's going to be used to come with a message at that time of the end.
So someone is raised up with a message at the time of the end in 1989.
Saka mumwe munhu anoraiswa up aine message pa time of the end ya1989.
Yeah, and so when we look around the time of the end,
I need to do it in English first, otherwise it doesn't get recorded. Okay, let's carry on.
yeah, so when we look around
Hanzi saka
the
patinotarisa time of the end,
1989, we will see who are we going to see, and we see none else than Elder Jeff.
So when we look at 1989, thank you, we see someone raising a message,
saka patinotarisa 1989 tinoona munhu achisimuka nemessage.
and we say that is Elder Jeff.
Tobva tati
So let me try. Anyone else?
pane mumwe here
Go ahead,
zvakare?
Tina.
Okay, when we line up online, when we look at 1798, we like,
So we're going to use line upon line, which is repeat of history, 1798.
Saka tichashandisa line upon line kunova kudzokorodza kwehistory.
and then we go to 1989,
We go to 1989.
and
Toenda pana 1989.
William Miller there, and then when we do line up online, we can line William Miller with Elder Jeff.
So we're going to parallel William Miller in 1798 with Elder Jeff in 1989.
Toita parallel William Miller 1798
And who invented 1989?
Hanzi ndiani akagadzira 1989.
You've got to speak louder, not whisper. Who invented 1989?
Ndiani akagadzira 1989.
None of you did.
Hapana mumwe wenyu akaigadzira.
Elder Jeff did.
Elder Jeff ndiwakaigadzira.
So he stands up,
Pavanosumuka
says, I'm going to invent 1989.
voti ndakagadzira 1989.
Going to say that's the same as 1798.
Kuudza kuti yakangofanana ne1798.
And I have a message
Message
that is similar to Miller's message.
yakafanana nemessage
And Elder Jeff never claimed to be the first angel, by the way.
Elder Jeff havambobvira vaclaima kuti ndivo.
You put that title upon him. He never took it upon himself.
Vakambozvitora pachizvavo.
So he has a message, and that message seems so powerful
Message inoratidza ine masimba
The-
akawanda.
enough people listening to that message accept it, and they follow through with the logic,
Kutevedzera logic yacho,
and they identify Elder Jeff as the first angel
identify Elder Jeff
based upon line or repeat of history. They're the same, they're just different terms for the same thing.
maererano neline upon line kana kudzokorodzwa kwehistory kungotaura
You okay with that?
chinhu chimwe chete nenzira yakasiyana. Izvi zvakanaka here?
So then we come to the second angel.
Touya isu pangirozi
And
yechipiri.
how do you work out who the second angel is?
Munozviweka out kuti ngirozi yechipiri ndiani?
Did you work it out?
Makazviweka out ndimi here?
You, the members in the movement?
Imi mamembers vemovement.
Or did Elder Jeff work it out?
Kana kuti Elder Jeff ndo vakazviweka
And he
out.
tells everybody who the second angel is.
Vobva vazoudza vanhu vese kuti second angel ndiani.
Which way is it?
Ndeipi zvakaitika?
Shout, you got to shout out, not whisper. So Erica said Elder Jeff.
Erika ati
We
Elder
all agree with that? So you don't have authority to identify the second angel,
imi hamuna masimba ekuti muidentify ngirozi yechipiri.
but you had authority to identify the first angel.
Asi maiva nemasimba ekuidentify ekutanga.
Is that right?
Izvozvo here?
So how do you know who the second angel is? What's the marker for that?
Saka ngirozi yechipiri munoziva sei kuti ndiyo chinomaka kana chinonongedzera izvozvo ndiani?
Elder Jeff, using the repeating pattern, he was the one who taught us that he must decrease and someone must increase.
So Elder Jeff uses the model saying he must decrease, someone must increase, and that's the definition of the first and second angel.
Saka Elder Jeff anoti iwo anofana kukwirira akudzikira kunokwirira zvichifanira izvo ngirozi yekutanga neyechipiri.
And you just agreed with all of that.
Nangopangobvumirana
Okay?
nazvo zvese.
So the third angel, how do you know who the third angel is?
Munoziva sei kuti ndiye wechitatu?
Who works out that?
Ndiani
First
anozviweka
angel.
out izvozvo?
So did I say the third? I said third. Is it the first angel that identifies the third, or the second angel that identifies the third, or you?
Ingirozi yechikutanga here kana kuti yechitatu? Yechipiri inoidentify third angel kana kuti ndimi?
Yeah. So Kobus said, we do.
Saka Kobus ati ivo vanoidentify.
So he must believe that we identify the second as well.
Saka anofana kutenda iye kuti tinoidentify yechipiri zvakare.
Otherwise, it doesn't seem consistent.
Otherwise
It doesn't seem consistent.
Hazvizoiti consistent.
Okay, I'll pause there.
Tongomira ipapo.
Pause that thought.
Vobva vasapfunga iyoyo.
Is Elder Jeff still the first angel?
Elder Jeff vachiri first angel here?
Anybody say no?
Pane anorambirana nazvo here?
Okay, so there's a consensus that Elder Jeff is still the first angel.
Saka pane kubvumirana kuti Elder Jeff vachiri first angel.
And who's the third angel?
Third angel ndiani?
Any other options besides Elder Tess?
Pane ane kumwe kufunga here kusiri Elder Tess?
Okay, and how do you know it's Elder Tess?
Unozviziva sei kuti ndi Elder Tess?
Kobus said that he worked it out. Didn't need to be
Kobus
told.
ati iye akazvizivira ega haana kumbomirira kuudzwa.
Erica said we were told that.
Erika ati
By
takazviudzwa.
whom?
Takazviudzwa nani?
Don't know? Okay. Tina?
Okay, Tina.
Representations, you did mention Elder Tess as the second angel. Most of the representations in 2019 and 2020, you are the one who mentioned Elder Tess as the third angel.
So it was me that identified her as the third angel.
Saka ndini ndakaidentify Elder Tess third angel.
And did I do that in the capacity as a leader or an angel or just a member, like Kobus did?
Saka izvi ndakazviita here ndiri leader here kana kuti
Okay, that's just a member then.
ndingoritaura naKobus? Saka uri ngoti ni member.
umnyothile indawo ethile okanye beyineva nje imali uba identify elder as the then the agent message. And then what was the answer then?
I think so, yes.
Sorry?
What was your question?
No, you were having some clarity as to was it in the capacity of the member or the
As a member, yes.
yeah. So yes, a member.
Milton, you want to say something?
I need to be consistent. There was a level of authority from you if you are the one who identified her as a member.
Louder.
I'm saying if you identified her as a member, there must be a level of authority from you.
Okay. So if I say it, it can't be as a member. It has to have some additional authority, which is what Tina has inferred.
So you call it
saka ndakazvitaura zvinofana kunge zvine level yeauthority mazviri kwete
Is Elder Tess still the third angel?
elder test ndiye achiri third angel here.
I think we connect the message with the messenger, and her message is still going on, and we're still using her message. That's why I think the message is the real.
So Erica says Elder Tess is still the third angel because her message is still in force today.
Erika ari kuti elder test vachiri third angel nokuti message yavo ndiyo ichiri kushandiswa izvozvo.
Then we message said for again, we still say elder test is still there, that message.
Yes. So sometimes people get confused when I do studies like these.
Saka dzimwe nguva vanhu vanokonfusika
They
panoita
confuse
zvidzidzo zvakaita
that I
sekunge
said something as opposed to you said something.
vanokonfusa kuti ini ndinenge ndataura zvinhu here kana kuti
So I just want to
inini
clarify
ndinenge
for
ndataura zvinhu.
everybody who listens to this presentation afterwards
Ndoda kungochekesa kune vanhu vanozoteerera
that this model that
mapresentation
we've discussed is the model that you have given to me, not me to you.
kuti model iyi yatataurirana ndiyo yamuri kundipa imimi ine handisiri ndiri
Is the model that you gave to me, I didn't present it to you.
imodel yamuri kundipa imimi handisiri ndaipresenta kwamuri.
So the members say that the first angel is Elder Jeff,
Vamembers vati angel yekutanga
I think people are going to say the second angel is me,
vanhu ndofunga vachati ngirozi yechipiri ndini,
and the third angel is Tess.
ngirozi yechitatu ari Tess.
Is that a fair summary?
Isamari iri fair.
When did Jeff become the first angel?
Jeff akava ngirozi yekutanga rini?
1989? Elder
1989.
Tess?
Elder Tess.
2019, I've heard. Any other options? 2018?
2019. Pane dzimwe pfungwa here?
Russell?
2018. Russell.
2001? Okay, so
That's
we've
2001.
lost the Zoom, so I'm just going to carry on now.
Zoom hatisisinayo saka tichangoenderera mberi.
2001? 2019?
2001, 2019.
Oh, 18. Some said 18. Any other options?
Mumwe akati 18. Pane mamwe option here?
You said 18, yes?
18 years.
And Russell says 2001. You heard that, yes?
Mumwe ati 18 mumwe akati 2001.
And he said 1.
I think so, yes.
Do you have any idea why he said 1?
Une ruzivo here kuti nemhaka ati 2001.
Someone said something?
Pane ataura chinhu here?
Yes, because
If you,
the third angel begins in 2001, so I think that's the argument there.
okay, so it's because the third angel begins in 2001.
Inzi nyaya yekuti third angel yekutanga 2001.
And who said that?
Ndinotaura izvozvo.
You said that.
Me? Okay.
Hanzi ndi-elder Parminder akazvitaura.
We'll go with 2001 then.
Tichatora 2001.
And when did I become the second angel?
Ko inini ndakava second angel rini?
Christina? 2001.
Hanzi 2001.
Who made me the second angel? Elder Jeff.
Ndiani akandiita second angel?
Who made me, is that right? Who made me the second angel? Elder Jeff?
Hanzi elder Jeff.
When did he do that?
Akazviita
When did he work out I was the second angel?
akazvizviziva rini kuti ndandiri second angel?
He did it later, around 2012 to 2024, somewhere around there. 2012, 2014, 2012, 2014.
So between 2012 and 14, he worked out that I was the second angel.
Pakati pa2012 na2014 vakazviona kuti ndandiri second angel.
Maybe you don't know,
Kama hamuzivi,
but between 12 and 14, I was disfellowshipped from the movement.
asi pakati pa2012 na14 ndakatombodisfellowshipwa.
So it definitely wasn't then.
Saka hapasiri
We'll
pepa.
go with Russell and Erica.
Totora Russell tozenda naErica.
2019, Russell says.
Russell ati 2019.
Erica?
I think
Erica?
we use always the second angel as the doubling, and that's 9/11, because we put the doubling also on the second angel.
We're okay with 2001. My question was, when did Elder Jeff recognize it?
Asi.
Wasn't in 2001.
Wekuti Elder Jeff vakazviongorora rini.
I don't remember that he ever said it was definitely you.
Oh, so he's never said it was me.
No, I said I can't remember that he ever said.
Erica ati
Yeah.
harangariri kuti
So that means
vakataura
you don't
kuti
think he said it?
Elder Parminder.
I'm not sure.
Saka
Okay.
zvoreva kuti afunga kuti vakazvitaura.
Sizamukhangela-ke kwezimpilo ezivelayo uba uyitshoni Elder Jeff le uba Elder Parminder usend i-email message uvela ke ngeminyaka uvele ke njengoba ixesha elithile sele-disfellowshipiwe phinde kuvele khona ke imethods ezivela nabo bekhase edabini njalo njalo sisekuloo mbali.
Recording in progress.
When was Elder Jeff recognized as the first angel?
Elder Jeff vakarecognizwa sengirozi yekutanga rini?
I think around about 2000, 2001, he was only then recognized as the first angel as I remember.
Okay, so around 2001.
Hanzi kunana 2001.
Anyone else?
Pane mumwe zvakare here?
We'll go with 2001.
Tichatora 2001.
Even if these dates aren't 100% accurate, I'm trying to make a point. 2019, why 2019, Russell?
Accurate 100%. Vangokuudza 2019, Russell said 2019.
So that's when this increase and decrease statement came.
Vanofanira kudzikira. Elder Parminder achikwirira.
Elder Tess,
Ko Elder Tess.
what year?
Igore ripi?
You got to shout out loud, I can't hear. 2019?
Hanzi 2019.
Everybody agree with that?
Munhu wese anotenderana nazvo here?
So, these three people who end up being angels, it's based upon what idea?
Vanhu vatatu ava vanopedzisira vava ngirozi zvinobhesa nepfungwa ipi?
Yes, it's a question. What makes them angels?
Chii chinovaita kuti vanzi ingirozi?
Cobus?
I think
Cobus.
it's all to do with understanding the Millerite history, and then we made our application to to fit them into that model we created.
So it's a connection between Millerite history and how that repeats. So we make some kind of connection.
So inesincedisayo
kubatana kunoita Millerite history kudzokorotsa kwainoita isitobva taita connection
else?
nenhoroondo yedu isusu. Pane mumwe here zvakare?
They usually come with a message. There is a message they come with. So then we tie the message with the messenger.
So they all come with a message, and we tie that message with a messenger.
Hanzi vese vanouya vaine message yavainayo, isitobva tabatanidza message iyi namessenger wacho.
Erica?
Erica.
Revelation 14 is like we saw it as a progression of a message. And then White said, if you don't accept the first, you will not accept the second. We saw it as a progression, so we connected then it with the message that is progressing.
So we understand Revelation 14, the three angels' messages, is a progressive message.
Saka tonzwisisa kuti message ye3 angels, message ya
I think the
Revelation
problem that you're
14,
going to get
message
is when you look at the
progressive.
words of Revelation 14, they don't quite fit into the words of these people.
Ukatarisa mavara emessage dzeRevelation 14 haanyatsi kuti gedya.
Look at the words in Revelation 14.
Vari kutaura avanesi.
They
Ukatarisa
don't quite
message
say the same
aRevelation
thing as the
14
words of these people.
haasi kutaura izvi zvakafanana nemashoko achataurwa nevanhu ava.
I want to move on a little bit.
Ndoda kufambira mberi zvishoma.
We're in the year 2012.
Tiri mugore
And what's happening in
2012.
2012?
Chii chinenge chichiitika muna 2012?
Tina?
There is a
Tina.
prediction of a Sunday law in 2014.
There's the prediction of the Sunday law in 2014.
Pane prediction yeSunday law inoitika muna 2014.
Erica?
Yes, I agree.
Erica.
So Erica agrees with that.
Erica anobvumirana nazvo.
So, to predict a Sunday law,
Saka kuti upredicte Sunday law
what do you need?
unonida chii?
What do you need to do or have to predict the Sunday law?
Chii chaunonida kunge uchiita kana kuti kunge uinacho kuti upredicte Sunday law?
Methodology?
Focus. Unonida methodology.
You had your hand up, Milton?
Milton.
To aid, I think that's another marker that you are a messenger.
It's another marker that...
You are the messenger, especially when you are giving that message.
Okay, so when you give the message, it identifies you as the messenger, when you give that message.
Hanzi paunopa message iyi zvinokuidentify semessenger.
My question still hasn't been answered to my satisfaction. What do you need in order to predict a Sunday law?
Mubvunzo wangu usakanyatso kupindura chaizvo chaizvo. Chii chaunonida kuti ugone kupredicta ngeve Sunday law?
You need time prophecy, or you need time. You need to have an understanding of time.
Okay, so time is a component to that, and that's what Koba said when he said methodology, I think.
Time icomponent yeizvozvo, saka ndo zvataurwa naCobus paati methodology.
What else? Russell?
Chimwe?
Not
Russell?
sure? Justina?
Handinazoziva. Justina?
So Justina said you need repeat of history.
Justina ati panoda dzokorodzo yenhoroondo.
I can't remember what chapter it is in Isaiah.
Hacharangariri kuti chapter ipi
Someone's going to tell me.
munhu achandiudza.
I was going to say 46, but then I was going to give you the verse as well.
Handishati
Okay.
46.
We're here,
Tiri pano.
and this is the past, this is the future.
Zviro zvekumashure izvi ndo zvekumberi.
That's what you said?
Ndo zvawataura.
So, how many time zones have you got here, Justina?
Justina,
time
pane time
zones,
zones mangani?
dispensations.
Time zone kana kuti madispensation.
Because in your answer, you only gave us 2.
Nekuti mumhinduro yako
In your answer, you only gave us 2.
mumhinduro yako wangoti
Justina gave us the past and the future.
Justina atipa kumashure nezviri kumberi.
So,
Recording in progress.
so she missed the other dispensation, which is the present.
Saka anga asiyirira dispensation rimwe racho rinova zviriko nhasi.
Okay, so I'll ask the question again.
Saka ndichabvunza mubvunzo zvakare.
How do you know, or how can you predict that the Sunday law is coming?
Unoziva sei kana kuti unopredicta sei Sunday
Go ahead,
law
Justina.
yakuuya? Endera mberi Justina.
You look at the present,
Saka mutarisa zvinhu zviri pakuitika izvezvi.
and then you go back to the past,
Wodzokera kumashure
and based upon the past and the present, you can predict the
maererano
future.
nezviri kumashure nezviri kukananga unogona kunongedzera zviri kumberi.
Does everybody understand that?
Munhu wese
Yeah, that's an old study. Perhaps we don't do it enough anymore.
chekare ichi pamwe hatichanyanyi
It's an old study.
kuchiita
Perhaps we don't do it enough today.
chidzidzo chekare pamwe hatichanyanyi kuchidzidzisa nhasi.
What do we call the present when we speak about the Sunday law?
Zvaizvezvi patinotaura nenyaya yesunday law tinozvidaidza tichiti chii?
What's the term that we use?
Mavara atinoshandisa ndeapi?
That we borrow from Ellen White.
Atinokwereta kubva kuna Ellen White.
It's not the time of the end.
It's the time of the end.
Russell, it's the agitation.
The agitation.
Is that okay, Cobus? Yeah, that makes sense, yeah?
Zverekobas.
So today,
Saka
not
nhasi
literally, in our model,
kwete zvirikuitwa mumodel yedu
we see something happening,
tinoona chinhu chichiitika
and it has to have the properties of both the past
zvinofanira kunge zvine maproperties ezvinhu zviri kumashure
and what we expect the future to be.
ko chatinotarisira kumberi kunge chiri ndechii.
So the agitation looks the same as the event.
Saka agitation inoratidzika yakafanana nechiitika.
Is everybody okay with that?
Munhu wese ari okay nazvo here?
What's the problem in 2012?
Dambudziko mugore ra2012 nderipi?
Because I've got here methodology and time.
Nekuti apo apa ndine methodology uye ndine time.
So we're going to summarize this. We're in 2012. We need methodology.
Tinonida methodology.
What else do we need?
Chichimwe chatinonida.
So we need agitation, but I wanted some different words for agitation.
Saka tinonida agitation but ndachida mamwe mavara akasiyana kuti agitation.
We need external events.
Tinonida zviitiko zviri kukunze.
Is that what you were going to say, Justina?
Justina ndo zvawanga uchataura here?
So people were clear on what the methodology was. We used the 2520 to do some time calculations.
Vanhu zvakavajekera kuti methodology yange iripi. Tinoda time 2520
to predict the date, 2014.
tigone predictor date ra2014.
So we've got a big tick. We're okay on that one.
Saka apa tine tick hombe zvakanaka chaizvo.
What are the external events in 2012 that are being used to predict 2014?
Zviitiko zviri kunze kuna 2012 zviri kushandiswa kupredicta 2014 ndezvipi?
Anybody have any clues?
Pana ane makulu here.
Cobus does. He said none.
Copus ane clue ata hapana.
Okay. So I don't know if that is new to you.
Saka handizivi kuti izvi zvitsva kwamuri here.
There are no events that are happening in 12 that are being used to predict 14.
Hapana zviitiko zviri kuitika mu-2012 zviri kushandiswa kupredicta.
I'm not saying there weren't events then,
Handisi kuti pava pasina
because when you look back, you should be able to find them.
kuti patinotarisa kumashure tofanira
But it wasn't done as part of the study.
asi hazvina kuitwa sepati yechidzidzo.
So,
Naizvozvo
in that dynamic,
dynamic iroro,
what is the movement to do?
movement inofanira kuita
Put
sei?
yourself in 2012. What's your responsibility?
Zviisei muna 2012 responsibility.
You've got the first angel.
Mune first angel.
Do you use the term movers and shakers, all the famous people?
Tikataura mavara ekuti mamovers nemashakers vanozivikanwa.
You'd call them the leading teachers, I think. It's more respectful.
Kana kuti matichers vanotungamirira
So you have the first angel,
chiremererawo maybe. Saka ndirozi kutanga
all these famous people,
vanozivikanwa
and you, the members.
iwewe
And you have this study,
kuita chidzidzo ichi.
and nobody recognizes that this message is being given by the second angel.
Hapana anozviziva
No
kuti
one
message
recognizes.
peNgirozi yechipiri.
So this message, the Sunday law message that's given in 2012,
Saka message yeSunday law iri
who's it being given by?
2012. Ndiani ari kuipa?
Don't mean the name of the person.
Kwete zita remunhu.
In 2012, it's not acknowledged as being the second angel.
2012 haisati yakugamuchirwa kakuti iNgirozi yechipiri.
Who would dare stand up and fight against an angel? Nobody would.
Ndiani angasumuka orwisana neNgirozi? Hapana angagona
But in
kuzviita izvozvo.
2012, the whole leadership of this movement is fighting against this message.
Asi mu-2012 utungamiriri hwese
And we've said that they only recognize who that person is in 19, which is 7 years later.
tangoti vanongozorecognizwa muna 2019 dzinova makore 7
So who's giving that
anenge
message?
atozopfuura. Saka
What
ndiani
title
akupa
would you give
message
them?
iyi? Itaito ipi yaungapa munhu uyu?
A member. Okay? We all can see that.
Member. Saka tese tozviona.
A member stands up,
Pane member inosumuka
having done their own study,
aita chidzidzo chake
and says they're going to make a prediction about the Sunday law coming in 2014.
vati achapa prediction yekuuya kweSunday law
And
muna
the first
2014.
angel
Ngirozi
doesn't
yekutanga
like that study and rejects it.
haifariri chidzidzo ichocho inobva yachiramba.
And so the message doesn't get the visibility that it deserves.
Message iyi haizopiwi visibility yainofanira kuwana.
And you can see that there are cracks in that study.
Unotoona futi kuti pane macracks anenge ari muchidzidzo
Are we
ichocho.
all okay so far?
Izvi zvese zviri
Your
okay here
members,
so far. Imi muri
What's your
mamembers.
responsibility
Basa renyu
in
nderekuita sei
2012?
gore ra2012.
Tina?
To identify external.
Tina,
So you said to identify external events.
hanzi kuidentify ma-external events.
The first angel said,
Ngirozi yekutanga
this
yati
is
iyo
rubbish.
izvi irubbish.
That's the context, remember?
Ndio context yacho rangarira.
All the leading teachers have said, this is rubbish.
Vadzidzisi vese vanotungamirira vabva vati iyi
My
rubbish.
question is, what's your responsibility?
Mubvunzo wangu ndewekuti iwe basa rako nderei?
Now what's your responsibility, Tina? To look for external
Chena
events?
basa rako raripi? Kutarisa maevents ekunze here.
It's to see where we as the members if we taking the message that was presented, if we stand with the message or not. That was our responsibility. And the reason I said external events is because we're given
I'm going to stop there. External events is fine. External events.
External events are right.
No, I have to rephrase that. So, your responsibility, you said,
Saka iwe wati basa renyu
is to study the message.
kudzidza message.
That's your position. Anyone else?
Ndo position
Russell.
yako. Pane mumwe here zvakare. Russell.
Then we'll be faced with a situation where we have to choose.
You tell me what your responsibility is.
Ndiudze kuti iwewo responsibility yako ndeipi?
And follow the first message.
So, you accept the message in secret.
Saka unogamuchira message zviri secret.
Or study it at least.
Kana at least
Anyone
kuidzidza.
else?
Pane mumwe here?
Erica?
Oh, I think
Erika.
it's safe for me. But I think it's safe. Put it on hold, let's look at it, then come back to it.
So, Erica said, I'm just going to say reject the message.
Erika ati ngatirambe
Okay, so you're not going to study the message.
Saka hausi kuzodzidza message yacho.
You're going to hold on to the message.
Uchangoibatirira
One second.
kwairi.
1 second. Got to translate. We don't have a movement.
Hatina movement.
We have the first angel.
Tine ngirozi
We
yekutanga.
have the leaders,
Tine
leading
vatungamiriri.
teachers,
Vadzidzisi vari
and we have
kutungamirira.
you.
Then toita
I'm
imi.
asking what your responsibility is.
Kubvunza kuti iwewe basa rako ndiri kuita sei?
I would have listened to Elder Jeff and rejected the message.
So Erica said, obey the angel and don't listen to rogue. You know the word rogue? Members who stand up and present their own studies.
Saka Erika ari kuti teerera ngirozi.
So she said, obey the first angel
Vari rogue vanosumuka vopa zvidzidzo zvavo. Iye
and
ati,
don't listen to members who
teerera
present their
ngirozi
own private studies.
uregedza kuteerera mamembers vanopresentawo maprivate studies
That's what she
vavo.
would have done.
Ndo
Yep.
zvaaizoita.
Anyone else?
Right?
What are you supposed to do?
Unofanira kuita
You're supposed to
sei?
listen to members who present their own private studies or follow the angels.
Unofanira kuteerera mamembers vanodzidza maprivate study avo here kana kuti
In 2012, you can't use all the hindsight that you have.
2012 haugoni kushandisa hindsight yavinayo yese izvezvi.
Someone had their hand up at the back.
Mashure
You've got
pananga
to stand up and speak loud, please.
motosumuka modaidzirisa.
Anybody can stand up and say they've got a special message.
Hanzi munhu wese wese anogona kungosumuka kuti ini ndine message iri
So I've got
special.
that bit, the last bit you said.
Pekupedzisira wati chii?
My question to you is,
Mubvunzo wangu
you
kwauri
the member,
ndewekuti iwe
what will
sememba
you do? Will you obey the first angel,
uchateerera ngirozi yekutanga
listen to
here
the first angel,
woteerera ngirozi
or
yekutanga
will you study the message, the study,
kana kuti uchadzidza message
to
yacho
try to see if it's true or not.
kuzama kuona kuti ndechechokwadi here kana
When the
kwete.
first angel tells you it's error, don't touch it.
Ngirozi yekutanga inenge ichiudza kuti iyi iera usaibata.
Now answer, please.
Chipindurawo ndokumbirawo.
So you will not listen to the first angel.
Ati hateereri Ngirozi yekutanga.
Like Russell.
Saraso.
He said he would pretend to listen, but he really wouldn't. So, please respond.
Yes, I'd like to say that the knowledge that we had back then, I think personally, I would have disregarded the message. I would have followed what the leader was saying. Because without the hindsight, that the knowledge that we have today, yes, I feel that we would have rejected, we would have followed what the leader said.
So you're saying that you would have not listened to the message and you would have obeyed the first angel.
Kuti iye aisateerera message aizokuteerera
Put your hands up if you would reject or disobey the first angel.
Sunzai maoko kana maizoramba.
Okay? Two people. Oh, question.
Are you asking
Vanhu vaviri.
in the context of back then or
I'm asking in the context of back then.
back there?
Hanzi tikubvunza tiri mucontext yekareko.
Because we want to understand what's going on now.
Nekuti toda kunzwisisa kuti chii chiri kuitika izvezvi.
Only one person would have rejected the first angel.
Munhu mumwe chete airambirana nengirozi yekutanga.
And that's good, I think. I think that's
Zvakanaka.
good.
Ndofunga kuti zvakanaka.
Because if you start rejecting angels,
Tukatanga kuramba ngirozi.
you can get into problems, can't you? Okay,
Nogona kupinda
so
mumatambudziko.
the angel says, this is a bad study, leave it alone.
Ngirozi yobva yati ichi chidzidzo chisina kunaka chimbochisiya.
The member gets disfellowshipped,
Member
the member
yodzingwa
got
musangano.
disfellowshipped, they rejoined the movement 2 years later.
Makore maviri anozotevera vanojoina.
Everybody okay?
Pakare. Zvakanaka
What
here
was...
izvo.
No? Who's not okay? When I say okay, I mean, you understand what we've said so far? If you haven't, then I'll try to
Tanzwisisa here
re-explain
zvatataura
it.
so far. Kana musina ndozama kuzvitsanangura zvakare.
But you need to tell me what you haven't understood.
Panondudza kuti chii chamusina kunzwisisa.
Or did I misunderstand what you said?
Kana ndatadza kunzwisisa zvawataura here.
I heard a voice, I didn't know who said it. That's...
Ndangonzwa izwi asi handinoziva kuti ndiani ataura.
I'll move on.
Kuendera mberi.
Okay. What's the responsibility of the first angel?
Basa rengirozi yekutanga nderipi.
Deliver a message.
Hanzi
And?
kudeliver message. Oita sei zvakare.
To protect the message.
Kuchengetedza message.
If you give a message and don't protect it, the wolves will come and ravage it, destroy it.
Ukapa message. Urega kuichengetedza. Mapere anouya oiparadza.
And that's what this message of the Sunday law in 2014 was doing.
And so they
ndozvaiita message yesunday law ye2014
It
zvayaiita.
appeared to be attacking the message of the first angel.
Yakaita sekunge yaiattack message yengirozi yekutanga.
So was Elder Jeff correct in banning this study?
Elder Jeff aiva correct here mukurambidza message iyi?
Tina said no.
Tinati kwete.
Protecting you.
Ari kuchengetedza iwewe.
It was correct? Yes?
Mwati vaiva correct.
In the position where he was as an angel, he was correct to protect her.
Okay, so it's his job to protect.
Hanzi basa ravo.
And so he says yes or no. He becomes, I'm going to use the term gatekeeper.
Saka vanobva vava ivo gatekeeper.
And do you believe that's his responsibility? Part of his job function?
Munotenda here kuti ndiro
To protect the message. Erica said yes.
kuchengetedza message.
His friend said yes. So if he had said,
Mumwe akati hongu.
do what you want, carry on,
Saka dei vakati
would he have been negligent in his responsibility?
vainge vatadza here responsibility yavo?
Yes?
Hanzi hongu.
Sorry, I've just got a power problem. Not sure why it's not connected. If I could get another extension lead, it's not working. There seems to be power to this, but it doesn't seem to. Or maybe I try to put the feet in there. Can I put this straight into that one? Okay, it's working now. Yeah, thank you.
We lost power that side.
Oh, you lost power? We'll just try and get our projector back up and running. Okay, as it's powering up, we'll continue. So my question is, the first angel's responsibility. My question is about the responsibility of the first angel protecting the message.
Basa rengirozi yekutanga ichiprotecta message.
Most of you seem to agree that it's that person's responsibility to protect the message.
Vazhinji venyu munenge munotenderana kuti basa remunhu iyeye kuchengetedza
Anybody want to comment?
message. Kana ndoda kukomenta
Go
here.
ahead.
Speaking about the responsibilities of the first angel, is it not his responsibility or her responsibility also to recognize the second angel? Because I'm thinking of John identifying Christ as this angel which is coming.
So Is it, we know it's the responsibility of the first angel to identify the second, or that's what you've said. I'm not saying I agree with that.
ibasa rengirozi kutanga kuidentifya ngirozi chipiri ndozvawataura handisi kuti ndotenderana nazvo.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm just talking about these responsibilities that it's his responsibility to protect the message, but also to be able to identify the second angel, not to fight with the second angel. I'm just thinking.
So the first angel is supposed to recognize the second, not resist them.
Ngirozi kutanga rinofanira kuidentifya ngirozi yechipiri yorega kuiresista.
If you go back to this picture,
ukadzokera iwe
the first
papicture
angel recognized the second in 19.
muna 19 first angel inorecognize second angel.
The first angel recognized the second.
First angel inorecognize second
2019. And as soon as the first angel resisted the second,
mushure mekunge yekutanga yaresista yechipiri
rejected, they left the movement.
vakasiya movement.
So your question is, why did the first angel not recognize the second before 19?
Saka mubvunzo wako ndewekuti tisati tasvika pana 19 sei first isina kurecognize yechipiri.
What evidence would there be to recognize the second angel in 2012?
Umpowo hupi hwaizovapo hwekurecognize second angel muna 2012?
Anybody? What evidence is there in 2012 that this messenger is the second angel?
Umpowo hupi huripo 2012 kuti uyu ndiye second messenger?
I'm going to say none.
Hapana,
At
ndozvandichataura.
least not enough. At least not enough.
Inenge isati yanyatsokwana.
So I don't think Elder Jeff can be held responsible at that moment.
Saka ndifunge kuti Elder Jeff anobatwa vari responsible panguva iyoyo.
So does everybody agree that Elder Jeff should have protected the message and shut this study down like he did?
Munhu wese anotenderana here kuti Elder Jeff vaifanira kuramba message vobva vaivharira pasi.
Yes? We'll agree with that.
Munhu wese anotenderana nazvo.
Okay? So let's go to 2024.
Saka handei kuna 2024.
We've now got a Sunday law message,
Tava nemessage yeSunday
and
law.
that's being given by whom?
Inenge yakupiwa nani?
And who is Elder Terry?
Anzi ndiye ichipiwa naElder Terry. Saka Elder Terry ndiani?
Elder Terry is our eldest, so it makes her part of the leadership, a teacher, a good teacher.
Makes her a good teacher? Okay.
Anzi Elder Terry ndi-elder, saka zvinovaita good teacher.
So she's a good teacher,
Saka mudzidzisi ari good.
a member. What else?
Member. Chimwe chii zvakare.
Okay. So if you put them together,
Tikazvibatanidza.
she's a member who teaches
Imember anodzidzisa.
well. Is that okay, Erica? She's a member who teaches well.
Ndizvo here Erica.
And this person up here in 12, who are they? Who?
Munhu uyu ari pano pana 2012.
Who?
Ndiani?
Teaches.
To teach as well.
Member anodzidzisa zvakanaka.
Let's take a little bit of glory. Okay, so these are members who teach well.
Kungokudzwa. Saka imember inodzidzisa
Is she an angel?
Angel
Okay,
here.
so she stands up
Hanzi kweti.
and says,
Vanosumuka
I've got a Sunday law message.
ndine message yeSunday law.
There are 3 groups in our movement.
Ane mapoka
Who are they?
matatu movement yedu. Ndianani?
Angels, the movers and the shakers,
Mamovers nemashakers.
who Erica has called the leaders or elders,
Erika vadaidza achiti leaders kana kuti
And?
leaders. Nani zvakare.
and you.
Ne.
So, Elder Terry comes up with a study.
Elder Terry vanouya nechidzidzo.
And where'd that study come from?
Chidzidzo ichi chakabva kupi?
It's got to speak loud. So, Acts 27.
Hanzi X27.
So 2012,
2012
where did this study come from? The 2012 study.
chidzidzo cha 2012
And if we should
chakabva
call it the 2014 study.
amene kana tikachidaidza chiti chidzidzo
So that came from something.
chakabva kumwe kuno
2520. And the first angel said what?
Ngirozi yekutanga ikati kudii
The first angel said, yeah, it comes from the 2520.
kati
'Cause
chinobva ku
that word, that phrase, is scattered throughout the study. That phrase, 2520, is scattered throughout the study. So,
ku 2520 kune kuzere muchidzidzo ichi
so we've got 2520,
saka tine 2520
and the first angel says, yeah, sorry.
ngirozi yekutanga yobva yati
The first angel says what?
ngirozi yekutanga inoti kudii
Russell, what does the first angel say?
so ngirozi yekutanga inoti kudii
He said no timetable. No.
So he said no. So I'll develop it a bit.
tazvidevelopa zvishoma
First angel says,
ngirozi
don't take
yekutanga
one of
inoti
my studies
musatora chimwe chedzidzo zvangu
and use it for your own private message.
wozvishandisa kuma private
Are
message
we okay with that
Pachishoma.
dynamic?
Dynamic iri right here.
You okay with that dynamic, Erica?
I agree with what happens, but I don't agree with the dynamic.
You said Erica says she doesn't agree with the dynamic, but she understands the logic.
Erika atanonzisa logic yakamuchiri
But
dynamic
you were the one that said the first angel's job is to protect the flock and the message.
asi ndiwatudza kuti basa refirst angel ndiyokuchengetedza flock
He's doing what you want him to do, and then you're not happy.
ari kuita zvauda kuti aite asi hauchafari manje
I think that the study should have been stopped there in totality. It should have been expanded on.
Privately or publicly? Oh, she said it should have been not stopped, it should have been expanded. And my question... We'll stop there.
iye ati chidzidzo icho chaisafanira kumiswa chaifanira kuexpandwa mubvunzo wangu ubva wati
Privately or publicly?
chaifanira kuexpandwa zviri private kana zviri public
I think the message went out publicly already.
You said... What you said was the development or the understanding of it should have been discussed.
Yes.
wati kudevelopwa kwacho kana kudzidziswa kwacho kwaifanira kuitwa nhaurirano
My question was privately or publicly?
mubvunzo wangu ndewekuti zviri private here kana kuti zviri public
If I remember correctly, then I would say publicly.
So Erica said she thinks it should be done publicly.
erika ari kuti anofunga kuti zvaifanira kuitwa mupublic
So you wanted me to have a public fight with Elder Jeff.
kuti ndiye nepublic fight neoda
What else would it have been but that?
Okay, so my ideas is maybe to our sunshine and roses. I would think you two come together, study it through, and come publicly out about it.
What Erica has now said is it should have been done privately.
Zvaifana kuitwa private.
So now we have a private study.
Saka tineta nechidzidzo chiri private.
Elder Jeff says no, and I say yes.
Elder Jeff woti kwete indoti hongu.
And then what?
Zvozodini.
Elder Jeff comes and says it's rubbish, and I say it's good.
Elder Jeff oya woti iyi rubbish indoti hai.
And you say, what's the evidence?
Iwo voti umbo wacho.
I'm saying it's sealed. It was a private study. Can't tell you.
Ndati hazviri sealed. Chidzidzo chiri private. Haugoni
Okay,
kudzidza.
take all of those dynamics, and we're back in 2024. Elder Terry, who is a member who teaches well, so I've got a Sunday law message. And where did she get it from?
It's a development of the third region.
Okay, we can put Acts 27, but that doesn't help. We can put Acts 27. How does that help? Because this person did 25-20 and it didn't help him. Go speak loud. I think we're missing the point that I want us to see.
She didn't get in trouble by the leadership of this movement.
We'll do that in a second. Where did this study come from? Where did the 2012 study come from? It came from the same places, which is where? It was a personal study. It wasn't an angel study. Elder Terry is a member. She says there's a message in the movement given by an angel, and I'm going to take that study and I'm going to make my own Sunday law study. Which is exactly what happened in 2012. I want us to see the parallel. I want us to see the parallel. Because if Elder Terry was an angel, it'd be a completely different dynamic. Now, there are some people in the movement who want to make her an angel. Make her an angel. It's only the third one left. It's only the third. It's only the third angel that she can take. I could offer her my one, but she wants it. I could offer her my angel, but she may not want that. My point is, if she's the third angel, the whole dynamic changes. But if she's not the third angel, then we're in this parallel situation. Can we all see that? 2014 is a private study that uses the 25-20. 2024 is a private study that uses Acts 27
chidzidzo chiri private chinoshandisawo Acts 27.
Plus, it's not just Acts 27.
Zvakare haisingori Acts 27.
It's not plus something else.
Acts 27 nezvimwe zvinhu.
Quintus Fabius Maximus Gurgis, yes?
Quintus Fabius
Which is to do with the
Maximus.
pirate wars.
Ine chekuita nehondo dzaPyrus.
But all of that is based upon
Asi
a
zvese
private study.
based nechidzidzo chiri private.
Interestingly, people say, oh, it's Elder Tess's study.
Zviri interesting vanhu vanoti ichi
But we
chidzidzo
could have said that back here.
asi apa taigona
2014 is Elder Jeff's study.
2014 chidzidzo chaelder
People don't see it that way,
vanhu havazvioni nenzira iyoyo.
and I wonder why they see 2014 differently.
Tinoshaya kuti sei vachizoona 2014 nenzira yakasiyana.
Can I ask something? William Miller, we know he studied on his own, and it was a private study, and eventually he shared his private study with people. And for the same with Elder Jeff. So what's the difference then?
So, Erica mentioned William Miller doing private studies, Elder Jeff doing private studies, and then sharing them publicly.
Erika ati William Miller akatanga private study, elder Jeff akatanga private study, vakazozvisheya zviri public.
So that's all fine. So either you're suggesting when Elder Terry publicly shares her private study, she suddenly becomes an angel, like those two people did.
Either muri kuti elder Terry paanoita chidzidzo chavo vanobva vatongova ndikozisi zvakaita vaviri ava.
But if she doesn't become an angel,
Asi vakasazova
then it's just a member doing some study.
inenge ingoriwo member iri kuitawo
And you said
iwo
the first angel is to protect the message.
girozi yekutanga
And
inochengetedza
your job is to obey the first angel.
basa rako rekuteerera.
I think only 1.5 people said they will rebel.
Vanendafu vanhu ndovati vanorebhela.
Okay, so how many angels have we currently got in 2014 who are actually working? One. So, if I said to you,
Saka ndikati
this
kwauri
is a bad study,
chidzidzo chisiri icho,
what's your responsibility?
basa rako nderekuita sei?
With the knowledge we've got now, the responsibility changes.
So, with the knowledge that you have now, the responsibility changes.
Neruzivo rwatinaro izvezvi responsibility inoshanduka.
So that just sounds like we don't listen to angels anymore,
Zvinoita sekuro kuti
because we're
hatichateereri
clever people.
nekuti tava vanhu vakangwara.
Is that what you said, Cobus?
Kobva ndo zvawataura here?
Say how you meant it then.
My memory serves me well. A lot of studies, if you look at the study we've done about the Levites, the priest, comes from personal studies that was adapted by the movement by the first angel.
So, when you look in the past, many studies were developed by members and they were accepted by the angel and they became movement positions.
Zvidzidzo zvakawanda zvakagadzirwa nemamemba zvikagamuchirwa nengirozi yekutanga zvikava mastudies emovement.
That's good. So that was the past.
Okay, zvakanaka kaiva kare uko.
Teachers like Jamel Sankey and those people that brought a message that we knew after studying it, it was also false.
So, leading teachers have brought messages. Leading teachers have brought messages.
Vadzidzisi vaitungamirirawo vakaunzawo dzimwe meseji.
If the first angel said they're correct and you said they're error, what would have been the answer?
ikati vari correct iwe woti error saka mhinduro yaiva yekuzoti iga ndezvakanzwako.
Correct. So
We had that situation between Elder Jeff and 2018 where we had to look at the message and understand the message and follow the message, not the messenger.
So Cobus said we have to follow the message, not the messenger.
Kobus ati tofanira kuteera message kwete messenger.
the messenger
What year?
When was it
Goreni.
when we had the big split?
2019, you said.
Iwati 2019.
So if me,
Saka inini
Tabo, and Marco had all sided with Elder Jeff in 2019, where would Elder Tess be? Where would you be?
itakasaidzana Elder Jeff 2019. Elder Tess vanenge vari ku iwe wainge uri ku.
Would you be following her message? Or you would have stuck with us? Because we would have come up with powerful arguments to show how filled with error her message is. Quite easily, to be honest. Though it would have been easy to show so many holes in her message. And who would you have really gone with? How did Elder Tess ever get to prominence?
Elder Tess vakatombozosumukira sei?
Milton?
It is through the
Milton.
endorsement of the second angel.
Sorry?
It is through the endorsement of the second angel.
Yeah?
So
Anzi vakaendoswa
Do you want-
nesecond angel.
Do you want to call it a club? She got into the club through a gatekeeper.
vakapinda muclub kubudikidza nagatekeeper.
When the gatekeeper said, looks good, you have our approval,
Gatekeeper paakati zviri haiti zvina approval yeru.
the member said, oh, it looks good to us as well.
Member yakati zvinoradzika zvakanaka kwatiri zvakare.
Okay, we're way over time.
Tapfuurikidza nguva.
Actually, we've done an hour, 20 minutes, so we're on time.
Taita hour 20 minutes.
I want to respect our time here together.
Ndoda kurespecta time yedu pamwe chete.
I want us to summarize so we don't lose our thoughts.
Ndoda kusummarize kuti tisarasikirwa nepfungwa dzedu.
We spoke about angels, who these angels were and are. I want to stress that this is the model that the members here in South Africa have developed. We have three people when they became angels and when they were recognized as angels. We went to 2012, which is 7 years before 19. And we saw that a member stood up and did a private study based upon an angel's or part of the first angel's message. And what they didn't do is include external events, but that's just a side issue that's not important to our study. They took the 2520 and did a private study to create a Sunday law message.
Vakatora 2520 vakaita chidzidzo chiri private kugadzirawo Sunday law message.
Took us, depending how you calculate, 10 years into the future.
ndichibva tunocalculata sei kana tichitorera makore 10 kuenda
Elder
mufuture.
Terry is currently giving us a Sunday law message,
Elder Terry pari zvino vari kutipa message Sunday law.
and she is a member who's a good teacher, just like the previous person.
Remember, anova mudzidzisi akanaka sezvakangoitawo munhu anga ari kumashure.
Now, unless you make her an angel,
Kunze kwekunge
Which some people-
peNgirozi,
would like to do,
zvinoda kuitwa nevamwe
I'm not
vanhu.
saying they're wrong, I'm just stating the
Handisi kuti ari
fact.
wrong. Ndiri kutaura fact yacho.
To do that, you have to bring forth a study to show evidence of it.
Zviita unofanira kuunza chidzidzo chinoratidza evidence yavo.
So, collectively, you have said that she is just a member.
Mese pamwe chete mataura kuti ingova ngori member.
If she is, I want us to see that the dynamic between, we'll call it 2014 and 2024, is the same.
Ndoda kuti tione kuti dynamic pakati pa 2014 na24
And I know it's easy for you all to think, oh, we would have done the right thing back then.
ndoziva kuti zviri nyore kuti mese mungofunga kuti aingaendaita zviri right kumashure
The question is, what is the right thing to do?
ndeyokuti chichiri right kuita
And it's very easy to say, think for myself.
zviri nyore kungoti kuzvifungira.
And when I say it's easy to say that, it's because none of us do think for ourselves.
Pandinoti zviri nyore kudaro inyaya yekuti hapana
We're
anozvifungira.
influenced by everything around us.
Tinoinfluenswa nezvinhu zvese zvakatitenderedza.
I want to finish this off in our next study.
Ndopedzisa chidzidzo ichi muchidzidzo
The question was the following, which is today's study.
mubvunzo wezuva ranhasi wanga uri wekuti
Why have I not taken a position on this Sunday law message?
sei ndisina kutora position pameseji yesunday law.
So already, I hope you can begin to see, without me spelling it out, why. I hope you can see why I have not taken a position
nemhaka yendisina kutora position
based upon the logic on the discussion we've had.
maererano nelogic
And in our next study, I'll try to state it more explicitly for those who are not sure yet.
muchidzidzo chedu chinotevera ndichazvitaura zviri pachena pane vanga vasina kujekerwa.
Suffice to say, or sufficient to say,
Zvakakwana kutaura tichiti
I think it would be dangerous for me to do so.
ndofunga kuti zviri dangerous kwandiri kuzviita.
Dangerous for whom?
Dangerous kuna ani?
For you.
Kwamuri.
If your answer was for yourself, then you understand the point I'm wanting to make.
Kana mhinduro yanga iri yekuti dangerous kwamuri then unonzwisisa.
Let's close with a word of prayer.
Ngativharei.
For those online,
Kune vari
I
online
know that we lost connection several times,
ndoziva kuti tarasirwa neconnection vakawanda wanda.
but we have the digital board work here. We have the digital board,
Board redigital tinaro kuno
and we made an audio recording.
taita
So
recording
hopefully some
yeaudio.
technical people can sort that out later on.
Ndoonga kuti vanhu vaitechnical vaya
Thank you.
vanogona kuzozvigadzirisa kumberi. Maita basa.